Hi, my name is Erling Strand, and I'm going to tell you about the mysterious phenomena in Hessdalen, Norway. Hessdalen is located in Europe, northern part of Europe in Norway country, and it's in the middle part of Norway, in the south middle part. It's not so far from the main city, Trondheim, about 120 kilometers away. And the valley itself is only 15 kilometers long, and there's only about 100 inhabitants living in that valley. You have several mountains. In the west, you have Mount Finnsøhøgda. In the east, you have Mount Ragnefjell and Mount Stordalshøgda. And you have some lakes, Lake Øyungen and Lake Hessdalen. And the view from Mount Ragnefjell to Mount Finnsøhøgda, you can see here, it was actually in that mountains where the first sighting was done in 1981. And if you look at the other direction from Mount Finnsøhøgda to Mount Stordalshøgda, you can see the picture below. And some of the pictures of the phenomena can be seen from this location, and you can notice the hill Hessdalen between Mount Stordalshøgda and Mount Finnsøhøgda. That can sometimes be seen on some of the pictures. A big UFO flap happened in the Hessdalen Valley. Started November, December 1981 and lasted with a high activity to the autumn of 1984. Up to 20 observations a week at the most. Looking through the reports, about 85% describe it as a light. After 1985, the activity sank down to about 20 observations a year. Project Hessdalen was established in June 1983, and part 1 lasted until 1994. And the main goals of that project was to get the scientific data and get the UFO phenomena accepted. And we made a team of 5 people who was the leader team, and we have also several volunteers to work out in the field. We had 2 fieldworks in 1984, about 1 month, and in 1985, also in January, and also in February, and then without any instruments. Full instruments in the first part and not in the second part. And we had more than 40 persons participated. Part 2 of Project Hessdalen was established in 1993 at Østfold University College in Norway. And I and another colleague was leading the activity. In 2013, there was also another employer of university who also took part of this leadership. What we did first, 1994, we established a scientific workshop in Hessdalen, a long weekend in March. We have had several bachelor projects on Østfold Technical college, totally 34 bachelor projects. We built, or this bachelor project, or the students built an automatic station, which we could now call the Blue Box, and it was set in operation in 1998. We have also had what we called EMBLA Fieldworks from 2001 to 2004. That was in cooperation with the Italian scientists. We have had what we call science camp for young students, where they stay 1 week in the Hessdalen Mountains in tent with equipment and with instruments and looking for the phenomena. 2010, 2 new automatic field station was started, and in 2016 there was 1 year course called Fieldwork established for the students at Østfold University College. Project Hessdalen Part 3 started in 2021, and the first thing was that the ownership of the Blue Box automatic station was transferred from Østfold University College to a company, Visit Hessdalen. And a team was established. I didn't have any students anymore because I'm soon retired. So the team is still growing, of volunteers who will continue developing the Blue Box. I got a new manager of Project Hessdalen. His name is Fred Paulsen. I had been a manager until then. Fred Paulsen is a very clever person who leads the project very good. We have also had a new technical director of Project Hessdalen, which main task is to bring instruments up in Hessdalen, in the Blue Box though mostly, and run the instruments. We have also become a non-profit organization. I'm the chairman of the board, and before that day, Project Hessdalen was actually a project at Østfold University College, but now it's out of the Østfold University College and it's a non-profit organization. New Blue Box is under development and new websites are being developed. The old website is alive on oldhessdalen.org, and Project Hessdalen is on Discord. The Hessdalen phenomena have had several different appearances or types. Most of the observation could be put in one of these categories. One, strong white or blue flashes lasting from a fraction of a second up to a couple of seconds. Yellow or yellow-white ball of light. These have different shapes. They can stand still for minutes, even hours, and they can move slowly or fast. Can be several meters in diameter. The ground has been illuminated. Another light with another color can be attached to the main light. And you have several lights together. It looks like the lights are connected to an object, and objects have also been seen. Some of the object type sightings, well, the most famous happened just before the UFO flap started in September 1980, where the hunter, August Holm, was hunting for birds in the mountains, and he suddenly got a strange feeling. It was like the air was removed around him. He felt something from behind, and suddenly he saw 3 sharp shadows coming from behind, moving slowly forward. Hulen moved around and saw 3 disc-shaped objects very near. He estimated they were approximately 4 meters in diameter. Suddenly, all 3 turned over to the side with the bottom in front and moved away with a high speed. Hulen was shocked after this happening, and he was never hunting for birds anymore in the mountains, so he sold his rifle. Here's a drawing of the description of what Hulen said: 3 disc-shaped objects, and he also described the bottom of it. This was around, that's the drawing made of his description. Another daylight observation was we called a bread, formed like a bread, big bread, with a light in front, moving slowly in front of the hillside in the back. So it was not far away, and the witness saw it was moving silently towards north in the valley. Here's another drawing or reconstruction of what people explain as they call it a zeppeliner. Here's a hat which was moving above a driving car, and the driver said she saw some lights around all parts of the car while it was driving, and when the car was coming all the way up to Hessdalen, this hat was moving further in Hessdalen, and then it disappeared, and then she saw the form of it, like a hat, she said. A barrel of light was seen in the daytime, and the witness explained that the most intense or the illuminating part was on the other side of where the light was shining. So it was more light on the other side from the sun part. This was an extremely strong observation. Well, the observer was going up on the mountain, Mount Finnsahögda. When he had reached the top, he sat down to rest a little bit in the sunshine, and then he saw something coming out from the air. It was starting to materialize. It's the first part he could see first, and then slowly it went into to be visible, the whole object. And he explained it as a weak flickering light along the side of the object. On the daylight sightings, this is a picture. Many people take pictures in nature in Hessdalen because it's a very beautiful nature up there. And on some picture, they may get something of, and here's one observation which wasn't seen before they saw at the picture afterwards. Here's another one, which actually looked like a disc-shaped object. And here's some kind of light. It's like a cube form. The sun is from the right, so the black part of that cube is towards the sun. Here's another strange shape of an object. This was not seen when they took the picture. They took the picture of the great scenery, the mountains and so on. And when they looked at the picture afterwards, they saw this strange phenomena. You have also several lights together. Here's a drawing made one of the witness where he saw three lights as they were connected to some object, a black object, which was moving just behind a mountain, which has made a drawing there, Mount Finnsøhøgda, and it returned in front of Finnsøhøgda, coming back, and then it moved on the other side of Mount Finnsøhøgda again. He made a drawing of what he saw. It was a black object. If you see down to the right, two yellow light in the back and a red light in front. He managed to take a picture of it. So here is the picture he took. This is pictures from a film where you can see the light. There is something coming out from the light, from the main light, and seems to disappear. This has been seen several times and also been captured on the video from the automatic station up there. They have a camera connected to a computer which analyzes the pictures all the time, and whenever there is something which hasn't been there before, it starts recording for some seconds. So here you can see the light coming, and suddenly there is a small light beneath it which go into the main light. It can be difficult to see. We can take it once more. And suddenly just beneath the main light there is a small light going into it. You have several where you have yellow balls of light, and here's a map of where my observation of a yellow ball of light was. I was looking in the direction of the upper arrow, and some other people was also out in the field and was looking in the other direction. You can see the other arrow, and the object of the light was where the star is drawn. And took several pictures. This is the best one. The light continued for more than 1.5 hours, and during the sighting it was moving slowly, stopping, moving slowly, stopping, moving up a little bit, going down again. Sometimes it sent out which looked like a spotlight onto the ground and also up in the air. Here's another picture taken of the same incident. This picture, well, all pictures is taken by a camera standing on tripod with a long exposure. The photographer said that during the exposure it disappeared, but he had actually got how it disappeared onto his picture. You see the light before it starts moving to the right and just moving to the left and down in a sharp angle and up again and further to the right before it disappeared. We have some pictures showing that light moving above the sky. When you have long exposure, it will be seen like this, and it seems to be two lights together. And on one occasion, it seems that one of the lights is sending out another light, which could be seen on the camera. Here's another observation where the observer had made a drawing of the observation. It was a bright light standing above Mount Finserhøgda, moving towards him, turning left and moving in front of the mountain Aspasjön to the left. And then it continued and disappeared behind a mountain, or a small hill, in fact. It was very low in the valley. He managed, this is the first picture, you can see there was a low fog, clouds very low down on the mountains, snowing sometimes, even though the light shows up. And it was moving in this direction in front of the mountain you see there. And then he had to turn the camera and take the second picture before it disappeared behind the hill. If it had been clear weather, you would have seen there's a mountain behind where it disappeared as well. Some of the flashes, well, blue flashes or white flashes. Here's another blue flash. And they're lasting only some few seconds. And this one seems to oscillating. The blue one is taken during science camp in 2004. And the other picture, which looks like something oscillating as well, in 1984. Blue flashes, you don't see them so easy because they last a very short time. But when they start to show up, I normally say that you should take a picture, a long exposure, because these flashes normally occur in the same period. So this is a blow up of one of the flashes, and here's another flash below the mountain in behind, and this one is also a flash, and this one too, and this one. All these pictures, totally 15 pictures, was taken during Science Camp 2015 during a short period of time, a couple of hours only. We had the blue box still in operation. It was established in 1998, and he had slowly improved. Now we are having a membership for Project Hessdalen, so people pay a little bit to be a member, and then we got money for improving the instruments in the blue box. As it is now with the old system, it analyzes pictures coming from the camera, and whenever something is captured, a picture and video are sent onto the internet every morning, and people can go in and look at the alarm pictures every morning. Although most of the alarm pictures is very easy to find out what it is. It's a natural phenomena, of course, planes, and most of it is natural phenomena. But you have some interesting now and then, which I call interesting pictures, and with a recording though. So there has been a while, some recordings during the year. So not all of them is the Hessdalen phenomena, but they are strange in a way, so they can be it. We have also many people reporting the sightings they have, and all these written reports can be found on the old hessdalen.org observations. And so far it's 166, starting from 1998 until 2022, there was 166. So many sightings up there. Well, some of the measurement. We had the first fieldwork in 1984 when we had these instruments in the cabin. We had the fieldwork for 1 month about. The technical report can be found on oldhessdalen.org. Well, anyway, we got some interesting results because we had the amount of observation was still high back in 1984. Radar, we had the highest speed was 30,000 kilometers an hour. And also some of the recordings on the radar was invisible in a way that if you couldn't see anything with the eyes, but it was a strong radar reflection as like you would get from a solid object. Spectrum analyzer, there were electromagnetic noise in a broad frequency band sometimes, magnetograph or measured magnetic field, and some of the observation was made during large magnetic activity, so the probability to make an observation is higher whenever there is magnetic storms or magnetic pulsations, which is quite normal on the Earth. Laser. Well, we used a laser beam, a weak laser, only 1 milliwatt, towards a flashing light, and the flashing become double flashing when this happened. During this month, we got 53 visual observations during the fieldwork, which is observation of the phenomena. Every observation, there was a report. We got 188 reports, but when we studied the report, only 53 of those is still considered to be is so strange that it is the Hessdalen phenomena. Sometimes we felt a rocking motion as if you're in a boat in an ocean, and this feeling can be due to infrasound or a very high, very low frequency electromagnetic radiation. But at that time we had no sensor for measuring such, so we don't know if it was electromagnetic radiation or if it was infrasound. Interaction, well, the laser was interesting. When we pointed the weak laser beam towards this regular flashing light, it became double flashing. And when we took the laser down again, it became regular flashing again. And this happened in total 8 or 9 times. Another strange thing in connection with that, 1 week later, a red light, similar as the color from the laser we used, was seen moving on the ground close to the feet of the observer. So it's very, very close to think that it has something to do with the first one. That is only speculation, of course, but it was the same, similar type of light. Science camp, we have had science camp where we take young students and the teachers. They're doing research during 1 week in Hessdalen, and they have instruments and cameras, and they stay in tents during the night in September. This is quite popular because there has been a lot of observation done by these young students, and so it's very exciting for them. This is a picture taken during Science Camp 2004, and you see a car moving, and the color of the lights can be seen because of the optical grating in front. And you see the Hessdalen phenomena to the right in the star. And if you analyze, well, first of all, you can see where it has been located, and the optical spectrum, which can tell something about the light. It can tell something about the elements which are part of this light, which sends out the light. And you have some different, well, the most interesting is that the scandium, the yellow one here, which indicates there is a rare metal in the light. This picture was taken in 2007 during science camp. When you have aurora in the sky, it is a magnetic activity in the atmosphere. So this picture was taken at 10 minutes past 9 p.m. And a little bit after that picture was taken, there was seen some flashes. It started with flashes, and the camera setup, the camera was connected to a computer, standing on tripod, working alone, taking a picture every minute with 30-second exposure time. And it was directed to a reference light on the mountain, where you see in the middle of the picture. Hopefully, we hope that any strange phenomena would be captured together with a reference light where we know the optical spectrum. Well, these flashes started 9:20 and about 5 minutes between each flash. And the time between each flash decreased, so it became less and less time. And until 10 o'clock, about 40 minutes after the first flashes was seen, this light was seen, but this picture where you see light in the up was taken in another direction than the camera was pointing. So you can see you got both the base camp of Finso and the reference light. So during the exposure, the camera was moved in the right direction. But 1 minute later, it took another picture. Then it was standing quite still, and you got the optical spectrum from the light, the color beneath it, because the camera had a tripod on top of it, and it seems to be some kind of continuous light. After the outbreak, well, I mentioned these flashes started at 9:20, 5 minutes between each, become less and less, and at 10 o'clock it was this, I call it outbreak, which was captured on camera and also on film, you will see. After this outbreak, there was no more flashes seen. Only the radar saw something more. Here's a movie which was taken by the students.
Å, fy fader! Jeg filmer det! Jeg har det på tape! Jeg har det her! Å, dæven!
Hva sier du? Hallo, jeg tok bilder.
Fy faen, det bare brent opp! Jeg zoomet inn, det bare splittet over flere...
Filmer du?
Ja, jeg fikk det.
Well, it's quite exciting for the students to take part of such expeditions. We had also radar, I mentioned, pointing in the same direction where the light was seen. And the radar started to see some echoes already close to an hour before the first flashes. And it continued to see something on the radar about 1 hour after the ending of the flashes. So it still was present. It was present 1 hour before, and continued the radar recording all the time. And this radar recording continued until 1 hour after, before it disappeared from the radar as well. We have analyzed some of the optical spectrum, the Hessdalen phenomena on the upper picture, and the reference Vega is a star, which can be used for reference, taken by the same equipment. And you have analyzed these pictures, what we recorded with Vega, what we know Vega is, and then we got a calibrated curve. And that, if you use that calibrated curve onto the pictures from the optical spectrum from the light, it seems that it can be very much ultraviolet light in the light itself. Here's another happening, not in Hessdalen, but another part of Norway, where people living in a cottage You see on the upper right picture the cottage, and in the direction towards the mountain on the other side of the lake, where they saw a light was coming. And on the bottom left the picture, you can see the crosses where is indicated where the movement of the light. And when it suddenly was very strong, moving in front of this hillside on the other side of the lake, it stopped and went down on the ground, and it was snow when this happened, and the witness saw that the snow was illuminated very strong, and at once it hit the ground, the snow, and the intensity of the light became very weak, hard to see it, but it was possible to see, and the witness saw it moved back up again in the same direction as it was coming, and while it was slowly moving in the other direction, it becomes stronger and stronger. And later, well, the day after, the witness went to the location to see if there was any track in the snow, and it was. There was some spiral formed, 60 centimeter wide, and we took some samples in the track, between the tracks, and reference, and it seems that the bacteria, number of bacteria has been killed just beneath the track. Cooperation, we have Project Hessdalen have cooperated with several institutions. This is from Italy, and they have had instruments in the blue box, and they have had their own instruments out in the field during EMBLA fieldworks, a lot of cameras, etc. So they have been cooperating with us for many years. We have now a cooperation with the University in Würzburg in Germany. This is Professor Hakan Kayal, who have put up some of his equipment in the blue box. We have cooperated with CNES, well, Gepando, in a part of CNES in France, and we have cooperated with CER from France also, and they have done have instruments in the blue box measuring electromagnetic radiation. The results of these fieldwork or this cooperation have been presented on different conferences around. We have had cooperation with scientists from France, also CNRS and Greek, and they put up 2 automatic stations up there, which can measure the changes in Earth magnetic field and electrical voltage in the ground. And they also, scientists from the same institution, have had geophysical investigation of the ground in Hessdalen. And here's a map of the walking distance, many kilometers. And they mapped the ground, and they found that there are some very high conducting areas in the ground, as if there is some metal type, very strong conducting. Some other happenings in Hessdalen, well, fog. When there are fog, seems to be more of the flashes. Battery in the equipment and also camera. New batteries put into equipment when they're taken out in the field, they become empty quite fast. We don't know why. Power loss, so we have had, when we had electrical power to the field work headquarters, sometimes the power has disappeared mostly when the phenomena is coming. We have had measured high electrical pulses, sometimes waving feeling, as I mentioned, strong ultra low frequency electromagnetic radiation or infrasound. The automatic in new cars can be disturbed. Well, some data a few times there seems to become some kind of interaction. Very few we have recorded though. It can be seen on radar even when it cannot be seen by our eyes. When there are magnetic storms or pulsation and high humidity, the probability to see the Hessdalen phenomena increases. Electromagnetic signals have been detected in different bands. The Hessdalen phenomena can show up from nowhere, just disappear. High energy light, UV lights, many different shapes and speeds. It can be different solutions to the different types of phenomena. But why does all this happen in Hessdalen? Well, what next? Well, we are trying to get new and better instrumentation in the blue box. So we need funding. You can become a member, go to hessdalen.org website, find out how. We are going to have a field trip in Hessdalen the 6th to 8th of September 2024. We want to take people out to experience the unknown. So please follow us on hessdalen.org and also on oldhessdalen.org and on Discord. Well, thank you for your attention.